Here we go. So, guys, since I've been back, one of the things I haven't done is like top 10 lists or top 100 lists, and I might do a bunch of them over the next few weeks as we approach the end game. But I thought I'd start with point guards. I'm going to do all five positions over the next couple of days. I'm going to kind of focus on players who we use in that position, right? So if a player's primary shooting guard, but everyone runs him as a point guard, then I'll put him in the point guard list and not in the shooting guard list. Now, we're starting with point guards. There's a ton of good point guards in the game. A couple of notable omissions from this list are players like John Wall, Paul Pierce. These are players like, I judge the players on whether if I've used them, how I found them, and then if I've played against them. And there's certain cards that are hyped, but I've never seen them do anything, you know, and chances are I probably haven't used them. So this list is really going to be geared towards, I think, moving away from the meta and general consensus and actually to what my experience of this game has been. So let's jump into it. At number 10, we've got Lance Stephenson. So I played this guy a few times today in clutch time. He is fantastic. He really is. Another admission, by the way, is Zach LaVine. That if you're that player who's great with his six, you can say he's a top 3-point guard in the game. That's not gassing it, by the way. Some people really know how to use that card. But Lance is at number 10. He is a complete point guard. He's kind of been lost in the shuffle in the new drop. If you actually look at his stats, they're basically perfect. He's got 94 interior defense for a point guard. He's 6'5", which is fine height-wise this year. And his badges are perfect. His animations are really unique as well. He's got a decent jump shot, which is the only thing that holds him back. If he had a really good jumper, he'd probably move into the top 5-6 area. But he's got great six as well. Yeah, Lance is that guy at number 10. He's probably the best budget point guard in the game. Very happy putting him at number 10. And I've played a few people today who really, really can cook with this card. So at number 9, we've got Lamello. Now, Lamello is a card that's kind of about intangibles. Defensively, he's kind of lacking badges and things like that. But it just doesn't matter because this is why this list is a bit different. Some things translate differently when you start looking at how these cards actually play in game. And I've got gameplays where you can see Lamello getting chase down blocks on hero Kevin Garnett. He gets bumps, he gets steals. Defensively, he's just way better than the card actually suggests. And he's got really nice jump shot as well. He's got good height. He's got a decent wingspan for a point guard. Yeah, at number 9, he's another good sort of budget option now because his price is dropping significantly. At number 8, we've got Penny. And it's mainly because he's an invincible card. I think if he was, you know, a standard card, if this was a hero card, for example, had 35 halves, I'm not even sure if you'd make this list. He's got exactly the same height and wingspan as Lamello. He just doesn't move as well and doesn't get the animations that Lamello does, but you can't argue with the badges that he has. He's really a card that you're going to use primarily for defense, and he has got a nice jumper that you'll get off if you get open. And his sigs are kind of standard for this point in the game. But yeah, he's good. Way overpriced. Definitely, like, of all the cards on this list, he's the one you definitely shouldn't pick up because of his price versus, you know, how good the card is. But he's definitely great. If you've got 10 million MT, sure, go crazy, pick up Penny. Right, at number 7, this is maybe going to be controversial. I don't even know if this is controversial anymore because I think most people realize the issues with this card. So I ran Ben for a while and his my win ratio went down quite significantly. So he plays defense and he's great for one reason, right? Which is if you're going to play switch all. Because if you get caught in the pick and roll repeatedly, he can guard the center, right? That was the case when he came out. And that was his saving grace, because this shot's kind of baited. He doesn't really move. I mean, even his rebound and block, his interior defense are kind of low for what you'd expect of this card. So he was kind of overhyped to begin with. But now, on switch all, he's not going to get a stop on Taco, Yao, or Manute Bol. So actually, with the fact that offensively he's so limited, you could argue him lower on this list, to be honest. He is really overhyped. He's really overhyped. I think the invincible Ben Simmons is inevitably coming. I hope we don't get an invincible Ben Simmons, by the way, this year, because I don't think he should get one. I don't understand why we keep getting an invincible Ben Simmons card. He didn't play in the league last year. I think it's a good spot for him. I think it's fair, but if anything, I'd argue him down. I wouldn't argue him up. Right, D Wade invincible card. Now, again, this really comes down to a couple of things. Badge-wise, he's perfect. He's an invincible card. That jumper is better this year, I think, than it's ever been before. It's basically base 98, but... And I know people are saying, oh, base 98 isn't as good as it was, but D-Wade the green window is just ridiculous. Like, I've run him. He's my backup point guard at the moment, actually. Like, he will go 10 for 10 greens. like from Limitless. Like that is the jumper he has. Sigs are decent. The thing with him though is his kind of defensive animations. He's still D-Wade of the last 2 years. He will get chase down blocks. He will contest Yao at the rim. He might not get the stop, but he'll get there. Yeah, he's a great option. And, you know, if you want the hero version, that's the one I'm running. Yeah, he'll do just as good a job. Slightly worse. I'm not going to act like the same card, but he'll do just as good a job in terms of, like, wins. Oscar Robertson at number 5. Now, this might surprise you, but he's the best defensive point guard in the game, guys. If you haven't used him, you don't know. He just gets bumpy in a way I've never seen any card do. Like, if you're playing online, he'll get you a steal a minute without you even user controlling it. And his jumper's really nice. So his 6'5", 6'8" wingspan becomes less of a problem because of the defensive animations he gets. I don't know what it is. It's like the Menace badge is like dialed up to 1,000. That's what it feels like. With him, he has Menace on off, but he just gets stops, guys. He will get you turnovers, transitions. He will help you win games just because of his defense. But it's an intangible about this card I can't explain. I'm not going to try to now. Top 5 for sure at the moment. Right, and number 4 is Invincible Steph. So my starting point guard is currently this one, the hero Steph. He pushed my win ratio up about 30%, and I'm not gassing it. I'm not gassing it at all. I took out Ben Simmons. Where is he? Who has a 6'11" height, 7-foot wingspan, replaced him with Steph Curry, who has a 6'3" height, 6'3" wingspan, and started winning a ton more games. Now, there's a bunch of cards that people use at the moment because they're just very good at hitting bad shots. If you want to get good looks and hit good shots, Steph is your guy. Like, if you can move and groove, if you know how to use these animations, you will get wide open every time you go up the floor. It does not matter. His height does not matter because you'll create so much space that it's almost impossible to stop. He's still got that teleport escape. He's incredible, guys. The jumper's absolute filth. And, yeah, badge-wise, I mean, I'll go to the hero one. Like I said, the hero one isn't as good as the invincible one. I'm not going to say it is. But I'm running this hero one, and he's doing the job for me. I haven't given him any badges. I probably should. But, yeah, such a fun card to use. And offensively, a real argument to be the best card in the game, even over the number 1 card, which you know is coming. I'll explain why. Right, at number 3, we've got Gary Payton. Now, with the Evo, I've played this card a few times, and I cannot get past him. He's completely broke. Defensively, he is elite. I love the Payton jumper. I love the one on the pink diamond. Is it the same jump shot as the pink diamond, or has it been upgraded? Oh, it has been upgraded. Okay, his jumper does look nice. I haven't used it. I'm assuming they upgraded it, right, with the Evo, right? That makes sense. His animations are fine. He'll get good looks. He'll knock down deep shots, but he'll get you stops, guys. He will really get you stops. He can guard the Simmons, you know, even at 6'4", 6'7", wingspan, it doesn't matter. Like I said, there's certain cards that just get bumpy and get stops, but he is just impossible to get by. And he will get in lanes and stuff as well. Like, he is fantastic. Defensively, the best point guard in the game. Like, him and Oscar are probably pretty comparable. But Payton is just a cracked version of that Oscar from what I've seen. Like I said, I haven't used the card, but I have run into him, and it is a nightmare. It is a nightmare. He'll just clamp you up and keep you clamped. Like, there's nothing you can do. Right, let's move on. It's wild to say this. March 25th, this card came out, so we're 2 months, two and a half months since this card came out. He's still the second best point guard in the game. He's also still the best MJ in the game, because MJ, you want to run at point guard. We all know what this card can do. I'm not going to bore you. His animations are cracked. Like, if you're a dribble god, he's your guy. The jump shot is absolute butter on Jordan this year. Fantastic that they've done this for Jordan this year. Great to see him be one of the best cards in the game and have so much longevity in the game. He's still that guy, though, but I would 100% pick him up over this card. Like, I'm not going to run an MJ at shooting guard. You'll see from my shooting guard list tomorrow, because this MJ will be on that list. But if I had the choice of one of the two, I'm using this one every time. And you could find ones with 50, 60, 70 half badges that are still cheaper than this card. So, it makes no sense. Yeah, MJ's still number 2. So at number 1, and this is with a caveat, right? Because you could argue number 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all Luka cards. That's what you could argue. He's 3.5 million MT, and the reason he's 3.5 million MT is this is the card you want to use if you want to take bad shots. If you're absolutely terrible at this game, like horrible at this game, You can shoot, you can catch and shoot with Luka without even paying attention to what's going on in the game. And he'll knock down shots. I've got to a point now where I kind of know how to stop him. And I had him for a long time, but he made me terrible at the game. But there's no denying, especially with the updated version, there's no denying that Luka is the best point guard in this game. The most broken card we've ever seen in my team. It really is. I mean, all four of them are. If it was me, again, I would look for one of these with a bunch more offs. I mean, like I said, his animations, dribble styles on quick, things like that. This all makes a big difference, so that the invincible card is way better. But the truth is, there's a fraction of players that are actually going to use the animations. Most people just want Luka so they can shoot 100% contested shots and watch them go in. Right? That's what you want Luka to do. The majority of people I play certainly is the case. So if that's you, you don't need to get the invincible one. But if you're elite at this game, the invincible card, you'll be unstoppable. It's that simple. Right, guys, that's my top 10 list. Like I said, there's a few interesting cards. And one of the greatest things about 2K this year, guys, I've even done a video on this, is it's really about preference. And that's what makes this game so amazing. For me, this is my favorite point guard in the game. I tried to make this list objective. This is my favorite point guard in the game. This guy right here. It's so objective. And what I love about that, subjective actually is the right word. What I love about that is we're going to have a whole host of different opinions. So drop your comments below. Like I said, I'm sure some of you want to see Paul Pierce, John Wall, Zach LaVine. There's a bunch of point guards that, you know, you probably would put on your list. Put your top 10 list down below. I'd love to see what your opinion is. That's the video, guys. The next one we'll do is a shooting guard video. Until next time, thanks for watching.